Hi everyone, welcome back to another segment of Tech Talk with Aegis. Today, with me here is Mr. Prakash, the General Manager of Vlan Asia. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Prakash, for coming to our session today. Before we start, can you give us a brief introduction of what Vlan does?
Yep. Good morning to everyone. So, in short, what Vlan does is actually Vlan is a technology concierge. We are fooling customers' growth. For the past 20 years, in a various cloud technologies, so focusing mainly on the customer experience and also productivity. So we are cloud partners to Microsoft, Zendesk, HubSpot, Acronis, and of course Vim, and plus other SaaS providers out there. And on top of that, we are holding our customers' hand together in a digitalization journey. So we actually assist them into the government fundings as well.
I see government fundings such as the grants.
Grants, yes, MDEC grants. There is a smart automation grants, MDEC BSN grant, SME Corp, and there's a few others that we are actually trying to. We actually assist them because we are a technical service provider under MDEC directly.
I see. You mentioned that you have been doing Microsoft 365 services for, I think, like the past 20 years, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, can you share with us in what situation does business start looking into Microsoft 365 services?
Okay. When it comes to, because our focus is mainly on SME customers. So when it comes to on the decision, when they wanted to look into the M365, I would say two main factors. One is actually when they wanted their staffs to work remotely, anytime and anywhere. So that's when they wanted to come to the M365. So that's mainly because of productivity and collaboration tools that are already available in Microsoft.
Yeah.
Another thing is actually when they are getting a little bit serious on this security. So because when they are in a legacy on-premise, there will be a lot of spam issues, the email missing kind of things. So that's where when they're getting a little bit serious on the securities, they come to the Microsoft because there is a features like DKIM, DMARC kind of features that we can enable on top of add-ons licenses to protect their emails data.
I see.
Yeah.
So does that mean that with effect from the starting of the pandemic, which is like in 2019, do you see a surge in the Microsoft 365 licenses?
Yes, definitely. So it was good years for us, definitely. So because of pandemic, everyone wanted to change into the remote work.
Yeah.
So it happens like everyone is like wanted to grab the opportunity to enable their staffs to work from home, and also Microsoft gave some good promotion that time. I mean, actually there was like 6 months free usage and 6 months paid, something like that. So it was like really a good business, and everyone, I would say there's a lot of, a surge in the usage in the Microsoft.
Okay.
People try to adopt.
And in terms of selecting the M365 service package, how would you advise the customer which package to go? I believe some customers, when they want to embark on a 365 journey, they will be so overwhelmed about which package they should be selecting. Yeah. So how would you advise the customer to choose?
Okay. So when choosing the product under Microsoft, so there is it depends on the needs and of course budget. So these two things. So what is their needs? What is their budget? Okay. So Microsoft has the lowest package such as Business Basic. So where it caters a email service, of course email service, and it gives collaboration tools like a Microsoft Teams, and it gives the Microsoft Office but online version. So this is what the businesses can already start to work. It's a basic things to do work. Okay, if let's say the customers, the client wanted the staff to work offline, then it's a different ball game. Then maybe they wanted to get an offline Microsoft product. So there is a business standard. So it depends on the needs. Of course the budget will be a little bit higher. And then when customer a little bit serious on the security, then they might need to add on the licenses, or they can get business premium. So business premium is actually because it comes with the security features. So it will actually covers most of the data retention, all these data loss kind of things.
Okay. So on an average, like you mentioned the 3 different types of services. So Vlan, which package that Vlan sells the most?
Sell the most is of course business basic and business standard.
Okay.
So these two, because the adoption on the SMEs on security features is still a little bit lower. Even though there is a lot of ransomware attack, phishing attack, all those stuff, but it's still low, I would say. But business basic and business standard is highest. So because that's the purpose of the Microsoft actually doing this business as well. To get the productivity tool, so people wanted to get that productivity tool to enable their staff to work.
Yes. Mr. Prakash, has it ever encountered to you that your 365 customers, they faced malware issues like ransomware, and then they came back to you to ask for assistance, whether can you do recovery or is there anything that you can help? Have you encountered that kind of request?
Yes, definitely. So it's actually when we, there is also customers where we actually suggested the M365 backup data. Okay, but then because of the cost concern kind of things, and then there was always the assumption where the data resides in a Microsoft Cloud data center,
Yes,
so why I would need to worry?
That's the misconception that customers usually have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like you're buying a Lamborghini and you expect everything is there ready. So it doesn't need to do the maintenance. It doesn't need to do any maintenance for Lamborghini.
Yes.
Same concept. So misconception is already there. So there was a customers that actually affected, and actually they come back to us asking to restore their data if possible. But unfortunately, yes, I would say, because when you doesn't back up your data, even though because it's still your organization level is everything is affected.
Yeah.
So even though you restore some data, when it's infected, because you are still using the same data and people are clicking there and
Yeah. So that's why you would advise M365 users to actually have another backup
layer
in place,
backup,
because Microsoft doesn't actually back up your data. They do not have the correct retention policy to the data to be considered a real backup policy. So that's where Aegis Cloud has a collaboration with Vlan Asia. What we do is Vlan sells the Microsoft 365 licenses, and whereby then the customer will come to Aegis Cloud for Office 365 backup.
Yeah.
Okay, and then moving on, the next question is there any customization allowed for M365 service?
Customization, yes. When it comes to Microsoft licenses, right, it's actually more to like plug and play. So why I'm saying plug and play is, when you wanted a business basic for your email services, and then you realize that you wanted some Microsoft Defender for Office 365 to protect your email security wise. So you just can buy on the add-on licenses, like a la carte licenses to protect, instead of you are directly buying a business premium, because business premium might be very costly for you. So you can get the cheapest for email services, and you can actually add on with some type of licenses to cater the needs. So that's why the customization is always there.
I see. If a customer is confused about, all the services under the 365, would Vlan Asia be able to host some trainings, conduct trainings for them?
Usually we does the free trainings for all our clients.
I see.
So all our clients that actually took M365 with us, we do a free training.
I see.
Yeah.
Like for example, they do not know how to use the maybe like the Teams.
Yes.
So you will teach them, all the things.
Yes,
that are
all
in
the
Teams.
features, how to create groups, permissions, all those stuff.
I
Yes.
see. Okay, that's good. At least some assistance
Yes.
for those first timers who want to try 365. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and for email services, now let's talk about email services. For email services switching to Microsoft 365, does Vlan cover the email migration?
Yes, definitely. So what Vlan does is actually not only selling licenses, we does more to consulting and implementation works. So for all our customers, we do the email migration. We do the email migration, and also that's the pre migration work and assessment kind of thing. And then after the migration also, we have managed services. We do have these managed services to support tenant. If customer already have their internal IT, then yes, it's on their own. If they are familiar with the tenant, then they can actually support on their own. But we will be there also to assist them in case the internal team needs some advice.
Okay.
But in terms of doing, if let's say do the implementation or maybe taking care of the tickets or raise issues, we have managed services support
I see.
that they can actually utilize.
Okay. When I hear about migration services, to me, I feel that it's like a lot of work needed to be done. So, what is the rate that Vlan Asia charge?
Okay,
for the
it
migration?
depends because clients shall be aware that the setting that they already done. So it can be a IMAP setting, it can be a POP setting. So if POP 3 setting, then definitely the man days will be a little bit higher because you need to be manually back up the PST file to the local machines. Each machine, if let's say the company have 100 users, then we have to do a manual migration. That means each machine we need to do a manual backup, the .pst, and once we created the tenant, everything, all the user ID already there, then we have to do the import of that PST for each individual to their email licenses. So that will take time because you need to sync back to all the M365. So the rate that we usually does is based on the man days. Man days. If it can be as little as like 3 days, and it can goes maybe even 8 days or 10 days.
Oh,
this is
wow.
usually for SME.
Okay.
So if let's say the customers have 500 or 1,000 mailboxes, that will be maybe will take much more longer because it might be like need to be a big project, not like small project at the weekend.
I understand that there are many Microsoft 365 resellers in the market nowadays. So everybody seems to be reselling the Microsoft 365 service. So how does customer choose the right provider to go along with?
Tough question. Tough question because everyone aware Microsoft, there's so many partners out there. So many. We does Zendesk, we does HubSpot or other things as well, but then the market, the competition a little bit lower out there. So even like Zendesk, we are the only reseller, so it's a different ball game. But when it comes to Microsoft, there's so many. Even if you take one location, PG itself, you can find so many partners. So in terms of that, how we position ourselves is actually to be to someone that give a value added. But of course, we expect the customers also look into the same thing, where when they find the partners, they find someone that give a value add to the service, not only selling licenses, but what else they can do. So in terms of that, Vlan actually we of course we do the free consultation for them in terms of Microsoft. When they took Microsoft licenses, we are very happy to do the free consultation in case they wanted to do some other things like wanted to migrate their servers, their usage, consumption to Azure kind of things.
Okay.
So we will assist, like consultation for them. And on top of that, of course, we provide managed services support for all, even Microsoft or even, M365, Azure, we does provide this managed services support. And on top of that, for all our M365 customers, we give free e-leave and e-claim system.
Oh.
It's an in-house built application that we build on top of M365, Office 365 infrastructure. So only for M365 clients. So whoever that on board to us, we give that.
I see.
We give that system, e-leave and e-claim system for their usage. And the best thing about this system is actually when you have this e-leave and e-leave system, wherever that in an organization applying the leaves, so it will automatically update your calendar, the whole organization calendar.
I see.
Unlike when there is some other application, only HOD or HR will know that the person is on leave, because nobody else have the access for the admin access to that.
Correct.
So it needs to be updated. I'm not saying all the application out there doesn't work like that, but most of the application is silo. Only HR can view whether the person already took leave, or today on leave or something like that.
Yeah.
But here, everything will be updated in your calendar.
I see.
So the whole organization will know that this person was on leave, so don't disturb.
But I think on top of what Mr. Prakash has mentioned, I think another point that customers really have to take into consideration is the years of experience that Vlan Asia has. I think the past 20 years, selling Microsoft 365 licenses, and also that they are reputable in this field of service.
Yes.
Yeah. So now comes the most awaited question. Yeah. In your expert opinion, do we need to back up 365 data?
Yes, definitely. So, like we discussed just now, that there is a misconception from people's opinion. So, they were thinking that when you already have data in a cloud, in a Microsoft, it doesn't really need to back up your data. So, that's wrong perception actually, because yes, there is a recycle bin, there is a retention policies. Yes, that's definitely, Microsoft already provide that. But that doesn't guarantee your data will be fully intact. Because the retention policies, there is still some confusion and gaps over there.
Yes.
Okay, and another terms is actually another thing that actually why you need the backup of your data is because of legal and compliance also, because lot of companies actually for the legal and compliance purpose, you have to back up your data. If you didn't back up your data, you failed on your legal and compliance side. And another thing is actually because when you are using this kind of third parties to back up your data, it's actually it enable you an easy search, which is actually to be compliant with your regulatory. So it's because you need to search very quickly, whatever you may. That's the purpose of regulatory compliance. So when you need to search, the third party will enable that, not on Microsoft.
I think another point to add on is about accidental deletion.
Yes.
Yeah, because nowadays when everyone is working from home, accidentally deleted something is very common.
Yes.
So I think I have also come across questions being asked whether Microsoft, do they actually help to recover or restore deleted files. Have you ever come across?
Yes, we had this kind of scenarios, but most of the cases, of course, we will be able if it's between 30 days. If it's within 30 days, of course, the deleted data will be in a recycle bin. But if more than that, that's the issue.
I think different services has different data retention period.
Correct.
It's like mailbox, they have one, perhaps 30 days, then OneDrive has another retention days.
Yes.
Yeah, so different services, different.
And there's, as I said, there is a lot of confusion on the policies. There's a lot of gaps. So that's why we should not only depend on that retention. Even though recycle bin is there or retention is there, we should not depend on that.
So this also comes to the reason why you should subscribe to a third-party backup, Office 365, such as Aegis Cloud, as we also offers Office 365 backup. With a proper backup in place, then you do not have to worry about the deleted data, about the retention policies and all that, because Aegis Cloud would have have identified a data retention policy for your 365 data.
Yes.
Yeah. And bonus is Aegis Cloud's Office 365 backup comes with unlimited cloud storage, which also means that they do not have to worry how long is their retention policy, because it comes with unlimited storage.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I also noticed that nowadays more companies are moving towards the hybrid working model.
Hybrid, yes.
Yeah. With SaaS services like Microsoft 365, it's very convenient, right? So how about the data security? The concern is about the data security, for example, like I mentioned just now, accidental deletion or either intentional deletion, it is a threat to 365 users. Correct. So, in your opinion, what do you think about this situation?
Okay, this accidental or intention deletion, something that we cannot control, right? Because that might happen, but then my opinion is actually my suggestion is actually the clients out there actually should anticipate these things. Actually, they should anticipate, because these can happen anytime. Yes. You cannot be very sure, 100% sure that this won't happen in my organization. No such thing. The accidental or this is intention. Some companies might have some people intentionally delete before they leave the company. They doesn't want the company have the data.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes. Yeah. And some is like accidental. So instead of keep on blaming on the staff, but what we did to protect the data, that's our intellectual property. All the data that comes to our staff, even the email, is actually the company's property. So in terms of that, yes, we definitely need to back up the data. And of course, because of the security, when it comes to the hybrid work, people are actually working from home. So when people are working from home, just imagine, we cannot control what they're doing. Yes. Because they are doing their work, but it can be they clicking something because there is no touch with them. I mean, we didn't keep in touch on the phishing emails kind of thing. They kind of forgetting all those stuff. They might click something out. Sometimes the most common phishing email is actually always like sending you an invoice. Or even a salary pay slip of the company. So people are itchy to see others' salary details, or something comes from the CEO, all the stuff. Sometimes maybe the CEO email was been hacked. And people when go and click that kind of email, so that what happens to the whole organization when attacked with ransomware. So it's good to have a data in backup, so we can restore back. We can restore back to the previous state.
That has not been affected.
Yes. So that's the purpose actually. So because of the hybrid, we really, for my opinion, the strong suggestions is definitely the data backup.
Okay, so Mr. Prakash, the last question that we have for you is, earlier you mentioned that Vlan Asia always give value-added services to customers. So in terms of 365 subscription, how do you think that you can help customers to better protect their data?
In terms of the better protection, that's the collaboration that actually we already done with Aegis. So Aegis are being partner with us, I think, for 2 to 3 years. 3 years already. So when it comes to the protection for the data, we collaborate with them actually for the backing up our M365 data for our clients. So that's the collaboration that we are looking also for our clients. We wanted to secure their data.
So which means that if Vlan Asia customers will subscribe to the 365 subscription licenses, you will also give value-added services such as complimentary backup data for them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that's something to think about when you choose your next 365 service provider. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the end of our section today. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Prakash, for your valuable time.
Thanks for inviting me.
No
for
problem.
this session.
It was a pleasure. Yeah. To all of you out there, please give this video a like and do follow Aegis Facebook and LinkedIn, and not forgetting our YouTube channel. Thank you, Mr. Prakash.
Yep. Thank you, Ivy.